Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Oklahoma Archery Podcast. Dave's out sick today. I'm Neil, and we got
Hello, Nick Ingham here.
Nick Ingham, West Coaster. If you're a Greg Poole listener, a left coaster, I guess. More northern, right? You're up in Montana.
I'm in Idaho.
Yeah, same. It's
Yeah.
far away. Well, we wanted to bring Nick on, and he just had this past weekend or 2 weekends ago, just got back from the NFAA Breaking the Barriers Championship, and he won the Pro Men's Division. So, if nobody else out there has heard of the Breaking the Barriers, it is tell me if I'm wrong, it is a one arrow long distance 3D shoot.
Correct. Yes.
So tell everybody that might not be familiar because it's not quite Redding, which is a orange dot two arrow shoot. It's not Redding style, but it's closer to Redding than we have for foam around here. So tell everybody just a little bit about yourself and a little bit about the break the barriers.
Yeah. So at the Break the Barriers, which it's more or less of a charity shoot. They kind of put it on for all the veterans, and NFAA kind of just stepped in to make it a national tournament to kind of get more people involved with it as well. And that tournament, it still does have the orange dots, kind of like Reading. Granted, you only shoot one arrow, and the dot size is it's ASA dots basically. So they take ASA targets like the Delta Mackenzies, and instead of shooting at the lower 12 or upper 12, you shoot at the center dot, and they have that painted orange. And you shoot that anywhere from, I think we shot 4 yards all the way out to 101 yards.
Okay, so Redding format in the distances at least.
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
Okay, so
85 targets, I think.
85, is that a 2 or a 3 day event?
It's a 2 day. So the first day you shoot 50, what was it? 51, I think. Yeah, 51 targets the first day and then 34 the second day.
Okay.
So it's a
And
long day.
if they need to shoot offs after that?
Yeah. So they had a couple of shoot offs. They had team events as well too. So for instance, if you're an amateur, depending on what scores that you shoot, you can get all the way up to 4 mulligans, and you can team up with another amateur to have a total of 8 mulligans. And so if everybody, let's say me, my partner, we both shoot an 8, we could use one of our mulligans to turn that into a 12, right? And then if you're a pro shooter, you get 0 mulligans. And Jacob Miller and I, we both teamed up, so we had 0 mulligans, right? When the shoot is over, they'll take the top 8 that go into the shoot off. Fourth through 8 gets the shoot off for $1,500, and then first through fourth shoots for $3,500. And then they have barebow shooters, they have the seniors, and I forget what else that they had too. I think they had like an actual just amateur team event too.
Sounds pretty fun. Do the barebow guys shoot all the way out to 101?
I believe so. I didn't shoot with the barebow guys. I brought a buddy from Idaho, and he ended up getting stuck on their bail. So he's the only freestyle guy with barebow shooters. And he's texting me the whole time, having a bad day. But I don't think that they shot from 100. I think they probably shot it from 50, if I had to
Okay.
guess.
I've
Because
seen
they have no backstops.
Yeah, I was gonna say you'll recognize them. They're the ones showing up with a rake and a metal detector to find their arrows after they're done.
Yes.
Usually holding up a group or two. Gotta send some love to the barebow guys. They're out there doing it with no sights and no modern technology of any kind. So tapping into the caveman DNA.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they make it look kind of fun when they're shooting out there, like Reading, when they have to shoot at 100 yards and they're just sending arrows into the sky. It looks kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, it is called archery. So I guess, if you can take a half a take or a half a second and pat yourself on the back before that arrow lands, I guess that's a good style. But man, I don't want to shoot a Subaru sized group at 100 yards. I'm trying to keep them in that Bigfoot dot, paper plate size, pie pan, whatever you want to call it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gunning for it. So how's breaking the barrier scored? Is you're shooting at the center 12 ring, but it is painted on an orange dot. Is that an 11?
No, it's a 12. Yeah,
Okay.
so the center they make that a 12, and then you still have the 10 ring just like ASA, the 8 and the 5. And the
Okay.
14's out of play.
No 14s. Okay, not
Nope.
even for the pros. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a very it's an event that's growing. Would you say it's getting bigger and bigger? I mean, I know we had some pretty big name pros show up to it. I know you and Donnie Thacker were battling it out all the way till the end. So they're showing up from across the country. I think Donnie's what, Arkansas, Kentucky, somewhere like that.
Yeah, Kentucky, yes.
Yeah, so I mean, it's probably not as big as Reading, but it does have pretty good turnout from the pros. How many years have you shot this event? Is this your first time?
This is my second. I shot it back before it was break the barriers. It was the R100, and that was, I don't know, 5 6 years ago.
Okay, so they've merged one together with the R100. Okay.
Yeah, well, R100 I think got kind of kicked out, and then the BTB just kind of did its own thing.
Okay. I've noticed we had some of our local guys go to a R100 here recently, and they actually were posting scores from it. So I think I went to it like 4 years ago, and they gave you a scorecard, but nobody really did much with it. They just kind of walked up and flung some arrows. And I was
Uh,
actually seeing scores posted from the open style and the bow hunter style. So kind of indicative, people, if you're going to show up and travel to an event like that, they do kind of like to score. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a lifestyle event or a fun shoot, but if we're putting gas in the truck and driving, over 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 hours, we want to you want to test yourself. You want to actually see where you stack up with some national level competition. So
oh
that's
yeah,
been kind of interesting to see.
yeah.
Um, Real quick, I know you had a crazy good indoor season. So let's back it up just a little bit. Tell us about the Vegas shoot off.
Uh, I mean, what do you want to know about it?
Was it more nerve wracking getting there and shooting the 900, or was it more nerve wracking when you finally got out there with everybody?
I think the first and the second day of Vegas is more nerve wracking, only because you spend all this time practicing for it and all this money just to get there, and to have that ruined on the first or second day would just be, it's gut wrenching, is what it is. And so once you get to like the third day, like I was still clean, obviously, good, and then getting to the third day, it was kind of just laid back.
Okay.
Because I knew, like, oh, I made it first, I made it the second day. So I guess if I had to drop one today, at least I didn't ruin it the first 2 days, you know.
Yeah.
But
See,
then you get up there on the stage, and you're backstage, your heart's kind of pumping a little bit. But I was able to kind of calm myself down. I was just kind of getting in my own head, and then I just started stabbing my stabilizer into the backstage ground and talking to myself like, you know what, you came here to win. Like, there's no reason to be nervous. Like, these guys freak out. Just go out there, shoot, do your thing, and calm myself down. And then, of course, when you walk out on the stage, I couldn't feel my legs, so I'm like, okay, that my little pep talk didn't work.
I'm saying, what are you doing to talk yourself through it? Like, is it a get pumped up kind of thing, or is it a calm yourself down kind of thing? Like, what's the narrative like?
Um, yeah, I would say it's a little bit of both. Like, I'm trying to stay motivated, but I'm also trying to keep my heart rate down and just remind myself, like, I'm here to win. I didn't come here to go out the first end. Like, let's make a run for it. And once you get up there on that line, the first round was a little bit rocky, and then once we went to X's, I just started doing some breathing routines, and then in between shots, I just kind of look around and not pay attention as if I'm, in a shot practicing. Um, and then, of course, the time when Bruce Cole's up there talking and he's trying to get everyone amped up and get everyone nervous again, I'm basically just staring at my shoes and like, wow, man, I'm proud I bought these shoes. They're nice shoes, and just kind of distracting myself.
Just counting the holes on the side where the laces run through. It's like, yep, still seven down there. All right, at least I got my shoes on the right feet. Well, man,
Yeah.
that is. I know it seems like Vegas has been a while, but anytime we talk to somebody that's made the big stage, it's something that you got to bring it up. You gotta talk about it, because there's a lot of people out there that are going to shoot competitively their whole life, and they're never going to get to experience the nerves and the anxiety. And the difference between somebody that goes to Vegas prepared is they're trying not to lose it on day 2 and 3. The rest of us are trying not to lose it on end number 2 or 3. So there's definitely levels to this game.
Yeah.
You always feel the nerves. I tell people it's like riding a motorcycle on one wheel down an empty highway butt naked. And that's just the only way to describe it, is like you can't imagine the adrenaline dump. But by day 3, you've been, 48, 72 hours. It's like, you're just ready for it to be over. Like, let's get here. We got all the way here. Let's get home. Let's get it done. So are you,
Yeah.
are you more of an indoor or more of an outdoor guy? I figured being up there from Idaho, you probably get quite a bit of time shooting indoor.
Yeah, I get a mixture of both. I do not love indoor by any means, although I'm a good paper puncher, but I would probably consider myself more of an outdoor guy.
Okay, fair enough. Outdoor 3D or outdoor field? Both.
3D, yeah, I don't mess with field, man. I'm
Really?
not a field guy. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So
They need to change that format a little bit. I don't like how you shoot 60 yards and then you got to take another step at 55 yards and set your sight and then shoot another one at 50. It's like if I hit it at 60, just let me shoot my other three at 60.
yeah, yeah. It's a definitely an interesting format. I walked through one of our local field courses with the fan and the walk up, and my buddy who'd never shot anything like that was saying to me, he goes, "You're literally just making this up as we go, right? Like you're just screwing." I was like, "No, dude, it says 44-yard fan. Look at the sign on the tree." And he looks over and it says 44, 44, 44, 44. Like, you see each one of those boxes, you got to shoot 2 at this side and 2 at that side, and if you shoot the wrong target, it's a miss. And he's like, "I hate you so much, I hate you." And I'm like, "Welcome to Archery, bro. That's what we're here for." It's
Yeah,
just,
some drunk guy invented that one.
I was
Some
gonna
drunk guy
say, I
invented
mean,
field archery.
I know it's changed a little bit when the pros started counting X's, and that was kind of what they were trying to do. But you got your purists over here that are like, "Don't mess with field; it's perfect." You got the other guys who are like, "Can we get rid of the fan and the bird and all these? Can we like shave 2 targets off of it and make it quicker?" And they're like, it's like trying to shorten baseball. Like half the people there are like, "No, don't
Mm.
shorten it. Perfect. Like it's supposed to be 14 hours long." And the other half are like, "If we could make this doable, we would do it." So I don't envy the guy that has to make that decision at all. It's not but we got a little, I mean, Texas has got it big. Oklahoma's we're trying to get it going, just getting these people that are like the only people that want to shoot over 50 yards, because that's our ASA max is 50 yards. We don't have any known pros that shoot out to 60 in Oklahoma. So anybody shooting over 50 is either a field shooter or somebody that's trying to get ready for Total Archery Challenge, or our local one is Shot 3D Experience. So trying to get the hunting crowd that's like, "Yeah, I want to shoot 80 yards and 100 yards and 114," like trying to get those guys to go shoot a long distance tournament for score is kind of tricky. And I always tell them, I'm like, "Look, if I go to spend $1,000 to go to attack and go to a fun shoot with you, you need to be going to a field round with me. Look, you got your bow, it's already set up. You want to shoot 80, let's go shoot 80." and I just can't get them motivated because nobody wants to shoot for score. They're just too.
Mm.
I don't know, man. I don't want to say they're too scared, but a lot of target panic comes around.
Yeah, I think they're scared of the embarrassment, and honestly, there's really nothing to be embarrassed about because we've all started at the bottom somewhere somehow, and when you're out there scoring and you're shooting with other people that are scoring as well too, sometimes you can pick up good pointers that can help you on the field and out in hunting situations. And you do it once, right? You go out to a field tournament or ASA or anything like that, and you score yourself once, it is addicting.
Yeah. Have you? Are you just real quick? Are you covering your microphone on and off because your volume is going up and down like this?
Oh no, I just got to talk a little bit louder, I think.
Oh, you're good. It's like really good, and then it's quiet, and then it's really good again. It'll be
Mm.
fine. It'll buff out. I think Dave's got something called the levelator that should equalize it all.
Oh, perfect.
But yeah. So, how much ASA do you all have out there, up north and out west?
We have quite a bit, but it's a little bit different than what they do back east for ASA because we'll shoot some ASA styles, but we'll shoot ASA targets all the way out to 100 yards at the same
Okay.
dot. And I'm kind of honestly surprised that none of the Idaho guys that go to these ASAs, like Foley or Illinois, I'm surprised that they haven't won yet because we'll go out and we'll post a score that's plus 30 on day one, and we're shooting uphill, downhill, you know, 80, 70 yards, and we're plus 30. So it's kind of insane the skill that is here in Idaho.
It sounds like you guys are stocked full of killers. Um, but center 12 is very comfortable to shoot where you've got at least a 10 ring all around it. I mean, the uppers
Oh
and
yeah, no,
lowers.
yeah, we're shooting lowers.
Oh, you're shooting lowers. Okay.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, 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 we're
Okay.
shooting lowers. There's a couple tournaments around here where you can shoot the 14 on the course. I personally haven't been to an ASA back east yet, so I don't know if you can shoot the 14 while you're out there on the course. I don't think so. It's probably just a shoot off only thing. I'm assuming.
Yes, shoot offs only and pretty much just pros. We do at our local ones, we've been doing a team shoot after the local qualifiers where you get to pick your partner and just let them tee off on 14 rings at like 35, 40, 45 yards. And it's
Nice.
something that you're never going to get to do unless you're a pro. So I'm like, come on, everybody, let's get on the line. Everybody's together watching, like try to simulate that pressure because we'll get couple $100 in the shooting pot at the end of the day. And it's like, yeah, you think you're having a good day all of a sudden, and then the nerves kick in, and it's like, oh man, I'm shooting at a dime way out there in the wind. And
Oh yeah.
so for your 3D, are you all shooting line busters or skinny arrows?
I shoot both. So some people around here they'll shoot skinny, some people shoot fat shafts, but since we're shooting uphill, downhill in these long distances, it's kind of good to carry both. Because if you get a close target that's 30 yards and closer, just bust out your fat shaft and have at it.
Okay. So are you doing the Jesse Broadwater sight tape on one side and the opposite of your sight?
No, I don't run any sight tapes on my site. I run everything on my phone off of Archer's Advantage. So I'll have a screenshot of my skinny arrows, and then I'll have a screenshot of my fat shaft arrows.
Okay. So one bow, one tune, two sets of
Mhm.
arrows in the quiver.
Yes.
Nice. Okay. We have a few people that are doing that out here. Most of them are kind of techie. We we're a little slower in Oklahoma, so most of us are running either a metal tape or a stick-on tape. But I've heard people time and time again say you will never find one as accurate as those marks on your phone.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, you look at the sight tapes, and to me, I want to be precise down to that half click. And so if I'm looking at my sight and I get that pin right there on 40, you can give it like 3 clicks and that pin still looks like it's sitting on 40,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, looking at my phone and going, okay, 30 yards, it's 40.65. It's like it's down to the T, and I don't have to question anything.
Okay. Interesting. That is I never thought of it that way, but I guess yeah, usually if I'm looking at it and my rangefinder goes to a tenth of a yard. So it's 38.3. I'm aiming right at it, but I'm going to run it at 38.5, 38.6, 38 and a little bit of change. So if I can see it, I know I'm at the top of it. If it's 45 yards and it's kind of dark, I'll dial the number in and just try to shoot the top of it. So based on what I can see through, and I'm running a 6 power lens, and not really the greatest vision out there. So if I can't see it, I'm pretty much going to dial it in exactly and try to aim, if it's bottom right of the 10 ring, I can see the 10 ring, I can't see the 12. I'll fade left or right and try to shoot the top of it because that's a longer target. Just kind of lay it up and play it safe. But if it's 31 and sitting in the sunshine and it's like, oh man, I can see that, I'm going to put it at 31 in the third, aim right at it and try to hit the top half of it. Because there's many a dip bang out there for a good 8 when you're having a good day. And it's like, man, you work so hard to shoot those 12s and now we're going to give them back. It's like, golly, kills, dude. It kills. People that haven't shot uppers and lowers before, I tell them it's like, me and you get in our car, let's go to the school zone and have a drag race through it, and whoever gets a ticket first loses. Like, okay, all right. How aggressive do you want to be? If you're good enough to shoot the middle of them, you're good enough to shoot the top of them, but they're not square, they're round. So you get that left and right at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. It's like, man, we get some of them down there as squares and we'd be money, but it'll screw you every time. Let's talk real quick. I know Dave's not here tonight, but his favorite question to ask people is, tell us about your setup. What are you running equipment wise?
So I got the Conquest stabilizers. I got a 30-inch front bar and a 15-inch back bar with currently running 22 ounces on the front and 36 ounces on the back. I got the Freak Show blade rest. I got the Bowfinger 35 millimeter scope and sight with a light kit on there. And
which Conquest are you running? The 500s or the 625s?
The 7s.
The 747s?
Yeah.
There you go. A little lighter.
Well, because of all the weight that I run, that's the only bar I can shoot. Everything else will just it will kind of be more of like a wave effect going through the bar.
Okay. I was gonna say I've never thought about running that much, but if I ever did, yeah, that does make sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Not a preference, more of a necessity. Okay. On your blade, are you running an 010?
Yes, I am now. Yeah. In Vegas, I ran a 12 wide.
Okay. And you're shooting 27s in Vegas with quite a bit of point weight?
Nope. 100 grains.
100 grains. Okay. Light 27s. But
yeah.
012 for the 27s and an 010 for your outdoor setup. Backing
Correct.
plate or no backing plate?
Backing plate.
Yeah, people around here will take another blade and cut it down about halfway and stick that underneath your blade. No?
No, yeah, I don't do that.
Not a fan. Okay. It's good. That's gay. It's good to know, man. People out here are debating that to the death of them. My buddy down in Texas actually runs he actually runs 3 of them. He'll cut one halfway and put it underneath, runs a blade, and then he puts a top one where he'll cut about a third of it off just to keep it from getting, just slapped around too much. I haven't run 3 of them. I put a backing plate on mine just to give it a little bit of support, but still a Hamsky drop away guy, man. I haven't fallen in love with the blade yet. It must be something for people better than me.
I've been shooting a blade for so long. I shot a QAD for a while, I shot a ripcord for a while, and then I went through like 4 of those rests because they just malfunction after shooting them so much, and then I was like, screw it, let's go back to a blade because it's not going to break. There's nothing for it to really break besides the blade, and as long as you change that out after every so many shots, then you're good. You got nothing to worry about.
Okay. How many shots are we talking? Several thousand?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So once or twice a year, maybe 2 or 3 times a year?
Yeah, probably twice a year. I'll swap it out. Yeah. I'll swap one out like usually before a big tournament. So like I got Reading coming up. I'll probably swap it out then. And then we got another tournament coming up at Top Pin, which is in Kellogg, Idaho. So I'll probably just swap that out just to be safe.
Okay. Interesting. The old ones, do you keep them or do you just pitch those? They're done, not good for anything, or do you save them once you cycle through them?
I'll save one. Yeah, I'll save one. I'll put it in my wallet just in case.
Okay, keep it in the wallet, right, right between the razor blade and the condom.
That's why I got 2 kids, man.
Oh no. Okay, so bowfinger sight, 35 millimeter. Are you running a pin or a dot for
A
outdoors?
pin. Yeah, a pin. 19 thousandths.
Okay, green or blue?
Green.
Green. Okay, good. I like it. We can agree on something then. We find some common ground. I've run a 10 and I've run a 15. I really have had good luck with a bigger pin for when I'm not having a good holding day, and I'll blare that light all the way out and just cover up as much of it as I can, because it seems like the smaller and smaller it gets, the more movement I'm seeing around that 12 ring, and it's like, all right, let's solve this problem. Make it a dot and just park it where you think it ought to be, and pull it out the back. Uh, so I know you're a darting guy. What are you shooting right now for outdoor season? I know we all, and for everybody that didn't spend the money to watch the Vegas shoot down, you were shooting an Exodus in Vegas. That's the 37 axle to axle. What are you shooting now?
Shooting the Sequel 35, which I just set that up 5 days ago.
Okay. So what are your initial impressions between the two? Because I know a lot of target guys, they're going to think a 35 might be a little short, but this is not it's not a hybrid bow. It really is a target bow at 35 axle to axle.
Yeah, I personally don't like how short it is, but granted, I just shot this thing at 30 yards and I had to call up Darton and order more arrows. I broke a lot of pin knocks. Like this bow is grouping, like it's too easy. My favorite thing about this bow is, and it's kind of a flaw at the same time because I like a little feedback from a bow, but this thing here does not give me any feedback. And typically, like on the Exodus and most other bows I've shot, when I execute, I can see that pin kind of uh, shiver in that dot as soon as it goes off, right? This thing here, as soon as that thing shoots, I see the pin, I see right where it's holding, I know exactly where that arrow is going, which is that's awesome.
It's a little different to get used to, because
Yeah.
if you have any kind of decent follow through on your shot execution, it's already there. Like, you don't have to glass it. Like with that Exodus, it's a little bit more spongy, like a traditional target bow. That 35 is like a Ferrari. I mean, you dump the clutch, pedal to the floor, and it's gone. And if anybody out there doesn't know, when you're shooting, groups in a similar spot, pin knocks are usually supposed to save your arrows. And if you're hitting them dead center, you can destroy that pin just like a regular bushing. So when he's talking about busting pin knocks, that means it is just slamming them in the same hole over and over again. So that's interesting. I'm needing to switch my 23s over from unibushings to pin knocks, because we're 3 months into 3D season and I still haven't done it. I can't find the time. Need to do it. So what arrows are you shooting out of it? I know you said you carry both skinnies and line busters. So what Black Eagles are you running?
I got the X Impacts 340s and the PS 25s.
25s. Okay. What
Yeah.
spine on the 25s?
I believe they're 300.
300s. There you
I
go.
believe. I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. What kind of point weight and vanes are we talking?
So I got let's see here. I got AAE hybrid, 3 inch on my 25s with 150 grain tip. And then on my X Impacts, I have the AAE hybrid uh, shield cut with 120 grains.
Okay. So it's got a little bit of weight in it. So you're out long distance in the wind. That's something that you're not seeing as much arrow drift, hopefully. So you're well over 400 grains on each setup, right?
It's close. I think I'm pushing about 380 on the X Impacts, and then the 25s are probably they're probably just at 400.
Okay. I say my PS23s are about 380 right now, and they are significantly impacted by the wind. I've got little tiny veins on them, so we're gonna put some 2.5 Flex Fletch Pros on there and cut a little bit off the end and bump it up to a $140 in the nose. So I'm hoping that it just breaking a good shot and seeing that wind just kind of just take it off over here. It's like, golly, I don't break many good ones. I need them to land when I hit them. Okay. It's like, oh yeah, Neil's making excuses again for shooting an 8 out left. I'm like, look, I shoot my 8s out low. I don't shoot them out left and right. And if the wind's blowing that way, it's not an excuse. That's just what happened. Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
what do you? I'm not gonna sit here and defend myself to these savages. Like, leave me alone. If the wind's blowing left to right and I missed right, it's a low miss for me. Or sometimes you collapse and you push one out the top. So yeah, I get it, man. Button or hinge guy?
Button.
Button? Which one?
Uh, I'm not a fan of it, but I am shooting the goat, the true ball goat.
Okay. What makes you not a fan of it?
Uh, it has a tendency to malfunction every now and again, and so you'll be at full draw, and then all of a sudden it'll go click and turn into a hinge, and then you cannot get that thing to fire. It does not matter what you do. You can pull the trigger, you can rotate. The minute you go to let down, it will fire that arrow.
Okay, that's not good. Is it
No.
a spring issue?
It has something to do with their sear lock, and I've sent them a couple messages about it, and of course they come back and they give you this long paragraph as if it's my fault and I don't know what I'm doing. So I just left it at that, and then I have the Stan Onyx, the non-click, and that thing's malfunctioned a couple times on me, and so I put it away.
It it happens. Mechanical things, anything with a moving part, eventually. Like I've had the same thing happen with a couple of my B3s because I've got small hands. I shoot the mini. So when they first came out with them, they put a smaller spring because there was less room in them.
Mm-hmm.
And full draw, click, nothing, let down, pops right off the spring. Like, okay, that's not right. Have
Yeah.
a second one because if you're gonna shoot one, you got to have a backup, right? Everybody out there, and your third backup is a hinge because if fool you once, shame on you. Fool me twice, I'm a moron. So your third backup's a hinge. I don't care who you are, what you shoot. That's just the rules. Them's what they are. Learn to love it. Second one I had a couple weeks ago, clicked it on, boom, right into the ceiling, missed the light fixture by like that much. And
Nice.
I thought it was me. I thought I just had, hit it on my face, fat fingered it, whatever the case may be, pulled it back again, boom, there it goes. And so I sent that one off and they put the full size. I called them and I was like, look, because I set mine really cold and I'm trying to pull it out the back, not give it the little half a shiver collapse thing that it is what it is. You shot archery, you know what it is. But like I called B3 and they're super great customer service, and I'm like, look, I'm assuming that I'm doing something wrong. So if I need to not set it so cold, just tell me, or can you put the original springs? And they're like, totally fine. Happened before. There's only one spring now. So it's a universal spring. It's like, it was back in 3 days. Like it got there in 2. They had it for 1. It was back under a week. And I'm like, thanks, B3. Appreciate you guys making it idiot proof for me. But I've heard of goats that have done that before. And, I think somebody had the one I shot wasn't a goat. It was Trident, I think they were called. I think it was a Trident, and I was shooting it as a 2-finger at the time. I really like that one, but most of the time I try to stick to the hinge until it's not good, and then you just gotta. I don't know. Are you a surprise shot or are you command shot?
It's a mix of both. So it just kind of depends on the day, depends on the shot, kind of depends on what's going on in my sight picture. Yeah. Sometimes I'll squeeze the trigger. Sometimes I'll just hammer down on it, and then there's sometimes where I'm just pulling through. So it just kind of depends on the day.
I like it if it's sitting there. And Lawson Vet told me this. Shout out to him. He's one of our local killers. If your pin's in it and you can see it and it's holding there, might as well shoot it.
Yeah.
But for me, it takes about 3 or 4 of those, and I'm anticipating. So I gotta keep myself honest, and I set mine with it's got the little spring attachment on it, but I'm right on the post. I don't ever use it. I just use it because it's a small diameter. I'm trying to wrap that thumb all the way around it and get it to go out the back. And if it forces you to follow through, like when I punch, I don't follow through. I just collapse and it goes a foot high and a foot right, like nowhere near. But some of those guys, I'm so envious of them that can just stand up there and just command shoot and boom, perfect follow through, bow arm, release hand, everything. Just like you almost wouldn't know it was a command shot, like the way they do it. And it's just, I don't know how they can aim over and over again without thinking. Like, I guess I just must have enough ADHD that I don't, it gets close. And I'm like, oh, come on, right there. I mean, let's see this one right up here, the lower one, punched it. That one up there, that was a hinge shot. That one was a straight up button. And they, different strokes for different folks. I get it, but I don't know, man. It's hard to keep honest. So
Yeah, I guess if you want to be a puncher, yeah, you gotta constantly push with your bow arm, so that way you're not collapsing. And then what people kind of fall to is that when they punch the trigger, they also grip the bow at the same time. And so my best advice would be to take thumbtacks, tape it to the front of your riser. You'll grab that bow once and you won't do it again.
okay, so like spikes along the front, like if I'm
Yep.
grabbing it right here, so you want them like here, and here, and you're just pushing.
Yep. Yep. Right on the front of the riser. So I took I forget his last name, but Bernie, he used to be a coach. He used to have his own stabilizer company. I can't believe I forget his last name.
Is it the Bernie's Wind Dragon stabilizers?
Yeah.
I've
Yeah. So
seen a few floating around.
yeah, so he used to be a coach back in the day when I was like 8 years old. He coached me for a little bit, and that was one of the things because I was punching and I was grabbing my bow, and him and my dad got together and they're like, "Hey, let's put some thumbtacks on the front of that thing." And I grabbed it once, and I was bleeding everywhere, and I never grabbed my bow after that.
Okay, so when you're putting your bow hand in there, are you open hand with a finger sling with a wrist strap? What are you doing to not drop it?
So I do have a finger sling. I'll keep one finger on that riser, but it's just ease of mind, really. And so unless it's like a really really windy day, then that's the only time I'm going to be. I'm probably going to be death gripping that with at least one finger just to kind of control it in the wind. But other than that, there's really no tension in my hand at all.
Okay. One of our local buddies, Sly Cooper, always says once you get to full draw, relax both your hands, so you don't realize getting in there how much tension you're just holding. It's like God, and you see it in your sight picture as soon as you just like relax, get in there, relax, and I'll touch with the front two on the riser, just barely rest them, not grabbing it. And I've seen some people that they'll tuck their whole fingers in like this, and I'm just like, I don't know how they get their grip set in there when they're drawing, but I love seeing those tucked in things right there. I'm just like, they've got it down, dude. Must have like a fat palm or something. I don't know what the heck the deal is. I've been shooting Oh, he's from up there somewhere. Adam George, is he up there?
Oh,
Yeah, I've been shooting his grips, and they've got that little perforated dots on the back, and that thing is sit. I mean, it's sit and stay right there when it gets in. I first got it, and I put some athletic tape over it, and eventually it kind of got like greasy or gunky or something like that, and I stripped it off, and about the first 2 days will light you up. And other than
oh
that, you
yeah.
just get a little hand callus in there. I'm sitting here rubbing on it now. It's like, yeah, I had a good, probably shot 100 arrows at the indoor today. It's like, yeah, I can feel it for sure.
Yeah. He makes awesome grips, man. I mean, you could probably put Diddy's lube on there, and you still would not slip on that grip. It is
Well, I mean,
it grabs.
it is a strategy because we're getting ready to go to the Pro-Am at Minden, Louisiana, and it's going to be raining Friday. It's going to be raining Saturday. So
Mm.
something is going to be, slipping and sliding down there. And I don't want that. I don't want that grip tape on there or that athletic tape getting soaking up water and taking away what he's designed to be a, textured thing. But then you got Gillingham out there in Utah. I ordered back in the day one of his wide grips when I was shooting the was it like the Stratos 40, and he's like, "What do you want the wide for?" Just out of curiosity, because Tim, he's gonna, you better have your ducks in a line when you order a $12 piece of plastic from him. He wants to know, and I was like, "Well, I'm gonna put skateboard tape on the back of it, and I want a wider base for that adhesive." And he goes, "Well, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, but here, give me $28 and I'll send you two of them." I was like, he wants it slick. Where's that nylon glove thing? He don't want any torque in there. So
Oh, yeah, that's weird.
I don't know, man. He's better at archery than me though. So listen to him and not me. Don't take my word for it. I've never stood on a podium. So I'm curious, when you're out of your dual arrow setups that you're shooting both skinnies and fats, are you do both of them bullet hole through paper? Do you care about paper tune? Do you care about bear shaft tune? Do you care about walk back tune? A little bit of all of them or none?
I used to do none, but with this new sequel here, I decided just to shoot it through paper since I'm shooting a faster speed now. So I just wanted to make sure that was shooting a bullet hole. My fat shafts, I could care less because I'm not going to be out there on the range adjusting my rest to shoot my fatties while swapping back and forth. So I'm pretty sure that they are shooting knock low, probably about an inch. But I'm more concerned with my left and right. So if I can get those things to shoot 30 yards and closer, and not have any issues, that I'm golden. And I'll be shooting those for Reading because you get those little tiny dots out there at like 11 yards all the way up to 19 yards. And when you're shooting skinny arrows, it's a little intimidating uh, because you're just shooting a 10 ring in Reading outdoors. Could be rainy, could be windy. The minute you put a fat shaft on there, dude, your confidence goes way through the roof. You're like, oh, I could miss this and still catch it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a
So
big. I mean, even from 23s and fives to 27s, I mean, you get a significant bump, but you're doing that for 30 yards and under, like hard max, or maybe out to 35, 40 if it's not uphill, downhill kind of thing? Do you kind of take it as you see it, or 30 yards, that's it, nothing else?
yeah, 30 yards is my max. I won't go beyond that. I mean, if the dot is pretty big, I mean, which it probably will be at 30 yards, I'll probably just bust out my skinnies. Especially if I'm holding really good, then I won't have to really worry about it. So yeah, I have that limit, and I might change it as soon as I get to rating. I might just say, okay, 20 yards, and that's it. You know, and just shoot my skinnies.
Okay. So you're carrying how many arrows in your quiver out there for that tournament?
18. So I got 12 dozen of my skinny arrows, and then I'm bringing six 25s.
Okay. I'm like, that gum, that's gotta be a lot. I want to get out to Reading. The closest thing we've done to it here is the Bass and Bucks in Wabash, Indiana. And man, dude, the first 2 years going to that, it was like the archery mecca. I'm like, this is the coolest thing anyone's ever done. They're like, yeah, dude, there's parts of the country that only do like this is 3D for like a large portion of archery in North America. Like there's none of this 50 yards and under, no orange dot uppers and lowers game like that. That's for the Southern people. I get it. It's like, yeah, you go back east or go out west, that's standard issue 3D. I'm like, oh, you guys are spoiled having that out there. Like,
Oh yeah.
you got to love it though. I mean, indoors over, get your skinnies out, start flinging them at a, I know everybody thinks the 101-yard Bigfoot's a big deal, but I think the 2 years that I went to the Wabash shoot, I think I shot it on like 103 yards the first year and 97 and a half the second year. Like your 100-yard mark it's two arrows, so you really don't have to put, like, you get there, you see if the bow made it in the truck, you go out, you got the practice dot at 101 exactly, and just fling them till you hit it and snap a picture of it on your phone. When you get to Bigfoot, he's pretty good and flat where we've shot him. So I know the Canyon elk were like 88 yards, like straight downhill. Like that was a monster thing. I'm sitting here like, how do these people do this? And I mean, still haven't 22'd Bigfoot. I think Wendell and I were supposed to make a sticker for 22'd Bigfoot, but got a 21 on him one year.
Nice.
Dang, dude, that thing was out there. But going back to not seeing that sight movement, I mean, you're at 22 yards and all around it like this, and it's 100 yards. You're like, right there, right, squeeze it off. It's like, yeah, dude, I love seeing it. Man, I gotta get out there for it. So what are you doing to get ready for Reading this year? I know it's coming up mid-March, right? A couple weeks.
Yeah, I leave actually next Wednesday.
Okay. Do you go out to the week before the is not the SoCal shoot down? What's it called?
Oh, the Fresno Safari.
Yeah, they do the weekend before. It's like the last one of the what's it called out there?
The Outlaws.
Outlaw series. That's right.
Yeah.
Do you go out and hit that early, or do you skip it and just go straight to Reading?
Yeah, no, I skipped that. Yeah, I mean, if you want a huge confidence boost, go to Fresno Safari because their dots are like twice the size of Reading, and so you'll go out there and it's almost like a cleanable course, and so you go out there, shoot Fresno, you'd be like, oh yeah, I'm shooting really good. And then you go to Reading, and Reading just kicks you right in the ass. So
humbling
I prefer
experience.
not. Yeah, I prefer not to get my head blown up too good and then have it shot down.
Well, that's part of the game, man. I mean, I think, what was it, last year Bodie was clean until one of the close ones where he was he took the yardage from the center but was fanned out around the stake here, and once he got over to the angle, it went from like 13 yards even to 14.2 and like shot it out the top or shot it somewhere. So yeah, it's those small ones that are technical that, I mean, back to field round, you shoot the bird shot at 20, 30 feet, 25 feet, 20 feet, and 15 feet. And you wouldn't believe the amount of people that gives them problems. It's like, dude, you could do that in your living room. Like,
oh yeah,
they had this one archery shop down in southeastern Oklahoma, and I was getting ready to go to Indiana for the Wabash. And they were like, yeah, we got an indoor range. And it was this old church. And it was like a archery / outdoor store. So they had frisbee golf, soccer balls, camping stuff. And they had like some PSE bows on the wall. I was like, this is cool, man. Yeah. How are you guys doing? My name's Neil, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, where's your indoor range? And they're like, oh, it's in the back room. And I go back there, and it's like 18.2 yards if you shoot and let your elbow hit the wall. I'm like, I can make it work. And they're like, yeah, what are you going to do? And I was like, I got to go to this tournament far in a land far, far away where people much better than me shoot technical archery. And I'm going to have a 3-yard mark, a 4-yard mark, a 5-yard mark. So I'm in there telling them I'm this big tournament archery shooter, and I go all over, and I like to shoot tournament archery, blah, blah, blah. And these guys just sell camo bows. Like they're, Bubba Redneck, good old boys. They sell deer hunting equipment. And they're looking at me shooting in the back room at 2.5 and 3 yards, hoping my stabilizer doesn't hit this target. Like, this guy's a moron. Please don't ever come back here. Just go on, make sure he doesn't steal anything on the way out. And I was like, thanks guys. Appreciate you. Call me if you ever need me for anything. And I've never heard from them. I mean, they probably think I died from self-inflicted wounds or something. Dude, I don't know, but they were looking at me like a cow looking at a new gate, like, what is this idiot doing? And I'm like, because I had like morning appointment and an afternoon appointment like 40 minutes away, but I had like 3 hours to kill. So, and I was like, it's not lunchtime. I'm gonna go, go to the local archery shop and see what they have for sale. I'm like, do you guys have any biter pin knocks? And they're like, please leave immediately. Whatever. I don't know what you just said, but I think it offends us to our core. So if you could like turn around 180 degrees and walk out that door you just came in, I was like, okay, never mind, you guys. Appreciate it, man.
It's one of them liberals, man. Everyone hired.
Yeah, it's one of them. He's fully vaccinated and voted for Kamala. Like, yeah, I know, man. I'm good. It's like I like deer hunting and stuff like that. I've been playing enough with my 30. I'm loving the Exodus Pro right now, and all the Darton guys are shooting monster scores with the 35. And there's like 3 guys local. It's me and David Griffin, who's a big old tall guy. He's going to shoot a 37-inch, and Quinn Rogers. And Quinn could shoot a broken broom handle with a shoestring tied behind it. Like, he's just a good shooter. And we're the only ones shooting the 37s. And I'm tinkering with this. How high on your 35 are you running your arrow in the burger hole, before I forget?
Yeah, that's a good question. I get that question a lot, actually. So I'm running the bottom of my shaft at the top of the burger hole.
Thank you. That's what everybody's been telling me to do. And I've got my stabilizer kicked down and out, just to not fight the bubble. And they're like, nope, you got to bring that stabilizer up, dude. It's got to come straight back at you and tuck it in. Is that what you found makes it hold well for you, or?
Dude, I spend so many hours messing with my weights. Every time I grab my bow, I'm always changing something. Yeah. Why are they telling you to have yours kicked almost straight back? I'm curious.
Our local Darton rep is a aeronautical engineer, and I don't really argue with him. I just kind of do what he tells me. So
that's fair.
My buddies down in Texas, I was like, yeah, I'm just not getting, like, I put that 37 up there, dude, and it's just, and I'm not anything special behind a bow, but it's working. But I want the 35 to, like the 35 has to come together for me, because when hunting season rolls around, I'm shooting these boogers with a 33. And when I came over from Hoyt, I shot the last year's Exodus and I shot the 33, and I loved them both. And they're like, just wait till next year. You're going to see something cool. And I'm like, I like the 33. I like the 37. I don't need anything else, but I've been tinkering with it. And I mean, when I first got it, it was indoor season, and I got 60 to 70 pounders. So I'm shooting it indoors at 70 pounds, and I'm just wearing my right shoulder out to nobody's in. I'm like, this is ignorant. Just order a set of limbs. So they came in, and then the 37 came in, and it's been, happily ever after since then. But I'm still just curious enough that I'm trying to, like, my buddy's got me shooting a blade. He's got me running my arrow. Literally, I think I can see daylight between the bottom of the arrow and the top of the burger hole, just because I'm fighting that low dip. And they're like, bring that bar back up, tuck it back in, run your arrow high in the burger hole. And I think it's gotten to the point where I might actually tiller tune it. Like, they're telling me to take a half turn or a full turn out of the top limb, and it's going to prop me back up, because I'll get up there at full draw. And it doesn't take nearly the weight on it that my 37 does. Like, I'm running 14 and 18, pretty light bow compared to what you're shooting. And I'm getting this down like this. So I'm going to try a 15-inch back bar instead of a 12. I'm going to try, because I've just pulled the bars off my 37, and I didn't want to mess with them, but I got a second set just for the 35 that I got in like a day or two ago. So, and then I had to order some new those tungsten shakers from Ramrods, those 4-ounce stacks with the tungsten powder in there. I don't know if you've ever shot them. Dude, those are freaking money. Hit up Josh Smith, I think is his name, over at Ramrods. And they've got, like, when it goes off, it's like the difference in a rifle going off and a rifle with a suppressor going off. Like, that arrow leaves, and it just goes, and that tungsten shakes in those 4-ounce stacks. It's like a little Easter egg with a piece of candy in it or something.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Dude, it's cool. But I remember when I first set the 35 up, I had quite a bit less weight on it. So I was like, I don't want to pull the weights off my bars, just because I don't want to, like, forget, because I'll I'll move on to something else. And like the 37 is put together middle of the season. We're rolling with it till all the way through July. Like it is what it is. We'll mess with it next year. It'll be ready to go. I'll probably shoot 23s for indoor. How much I'm loving it. But that 35, I was just getting a little bit of down, just down, and I'm like, come on, pull that thing up. So I'm shortening it up the draw length. And I've tinkered with it all last week, and it's like, dude, I'm going to a pro-am next weekend. Like, you got to shoot your tournament bow before the tournament. Like, don't go down the rabbit hole on a bow that's not ready yet. And it, like, good shooters, it amazes me. Like, y'all can put a bow together in a matter of hours or a matter of days. That takes me weeks, like not a week, weeks plural. And it's just out of my own ignorance. I'm on the phone with somebody like, okay, now which way do the limbs go when I switch them? It's like, oh, okay, strong one's on the left side. Thanks. Okay, cool. And like shooting them out of the press, hoping my cams don't bang off of something. Like I've got the roller wheels back there, and one of them like shot off. Like I didn't have the bolts like all the way down, so I'm like pressing it to switch the limbs back in, and I get the cams in it. And put the axles back in. It just goes pink. I'm like, oh, that was metal on metal, dude. No, not what I want. Not what I want. It was fine. It was hanging on by the bracket for those roller wheels had come loose and it shot down like this. And I mean, cam was fine. Didn't have to do anything. I was like, I just smoked that pair of cams. I have to call somebody to send me some 35 cams. I did it again. They're like, stop doing that. Stop it. Like when my buddy got his, he was like, I'm just going to press it on the old style. He's like, I just got to put a peep in it. I'm like, don't do it, Chris. Don't do it. He's like, I'm going to do it. I was like, I would rather you come over, pull it back, be at full draw, and like count the threads one at a time and put the peep in this way and then let it down than to shoot it out of the press downwards and toast a set of perfectly good brand new cams. But he made it. You know, he got his 33 set up. He's out there shooting it at mule deer and antelope in the Panhandle.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's kind of interesting that you said that you put your back bar straight, and other people are running their arrows at the top of the burger hole. Because I just figured that out, just trial and error. So I've tried it, my back bar completely down, and it works for a couple of shots. But if you're sitting there practicing on the line and you're shooting 6 arrows back to back, you kind of notice it getting those dip bangs like real heavy with it being low. So I kind of play with it. I have some marks on my sidebar, and I'll move it in between 3 lines, depending on the day, and that's all I move it. And so if I'm feeling really, really aggressive, I'll move it down. If I'm feeling really weak, I move it back up. And then the burger hole, I kind of figured that out by tiller tuning. I only do tiller tuning just to figure out where I want my D loop to be. Once I figure it out, I go ahead and I move my D loop, and then I put my limbs back where they're square, and then I'm golden.
Interesting. So you're using it as a tester just to move it quickly up and down, and then take it off and spin it, or cut it off and retie it.
Yeah, typically I just spin it. Yeah, I'll cut off because I'll still tie my serving in place for the knock. So I'll cut the serving off, and then I just spin the D loop up where I need it to be. I feel like having it up a little bit higher and having that arrow at the top of the burger hole with where they put their grip on that riser, it just pushes your shoulder down without actually having to force it down and lock it in place. It's just natural now. So, yeah.
It's a lot goes into the fine tuning of it, because for years I thought I was a 28-inch draw. Whatever bow came in, set it at 28, shoot it, throw a peep sight in it. No concern for up and down. No concern for, am I here? Am I getting into the bow like that? Like, I'm 28-inch draw. No, I was closer to 29, dude. I was like almost a full inch off. I'm like 28 and 3/4 at least, if not closer to 29 even. And it's like it took, I think 3 years shooting the Stratos, because I was shooting where the Hoyt cams used to end was 28 even, and the next one kicked in at 28 1/4. So I had 4 of them at one time, and every one of them maxed at 28. And I was just like, scrunched up. I'm like, why am I getting this left? Straight 9 o'clock all the time. Every time I break a strong shot, good execution, good follow through, straight 9 o'clock. And they're like, dude, you are hunched up like this, boom, breaking it out like that. Like, it's physics. There's nowhere else for the bow to go except that way. Like, okay, right on. You got it, man. Smarter people than me have to like intervene. It's like, but that's like part of the community, dude. I mean, you go see somebody struggling over and over and over again. It's like, dude, your peep sight is this high from your D loop. Like, you are down here like this, doing this. Like, let's cut that out here. Get a razor blade, cut it out, close your eyes, draw it back, tell me where your eye is, put a Sharpie mark right there. And it's like, let's play right there. And if the draw link's not right, we'll scooch it in, scooch it out. I don't know. It's taken 30 years to figure out the easy stuff that everybody else is like, picks one up off the shelf and they're like, I think my draw link's a tad too long. I'm like, well, who told you that? And they're like, it just feels that way. It'll be better if it's shorter. I'm like, oh, guy must have a sixth sense or something.
Right.
He must be one of those idiot savants.
Yeah, dude. I always see people with like bad form on the range, and I'll be shooting on their bail, and I won't say anything during the shoot. I mean, unless they are just like really really struggling, then I'll step in, give some advice. But usually I'll wait till after the shoot, and I'll be like, hey man, how do you think today went? And then if they tell me not so good, I'll be like, okay, here, try this. You don't have to, but just trust me, just try it, please. And then they'll come back the next day and be like, hey, dude, I practiced last night and I think I'm going to shoot a lot better today. It's like, okay, cool. Good. Let's see it.
Dude, it's what's Wendell always say. Shout out to Wendell Souza. He's like, I'm not your archery therapist. Like, don't come to me when it's a bad day, but you kind of got to be willing to have that like awkward conversation. It's like, why is that peep sight there? And I've heard everything from, I bought this bow used and that's where it was. And I don't know how to tie them in. So that's just kind of what I've been rocking. Like, okay. All right. It's your bow now. So, unless you think your face is going to grow like some kind of nuclear fallout situation, or like one side of your head just keeps elongating, like, let's move it,
Yeah.
Oh no, man. I got a tournament coming.
It's so hard, man. Yeah. It's hard to watch people struggle because you just know in the back of your mind, like, man, if they keep going down this path, they're probably not going to like archery. They're not going to improve. They're probably going to quit. So it's like someone has to step in and just teach them the right things, and hopefully they get a better experience. But then again, you might just run into that person that just thinks that they know everything, and then it's like, well, all right, I'll go screw myself then.
Yeah,
I tried.
You always have the guy come into the shop with the 935 grain arrow going, yeah, man, I can shoot through 2 pigs with this arrow. Single blade belt will be like, dude, no, your pin gap looks like this. Like, it's going to stand back up and duck again before the arrow gets to it. And they're dead set on the 900 grain arrow. I'm like, no.
I have full proof kinetic energy does not mean jack shit. I shot my departure, which was my target bow last year. It's a teal bow, white limbs, set up for hunting. I left my blade, my freak show blade on there. I put just like a little single pin cheap slider from, God, I don't know, 2005 on there, a PSE quiver. And I took my X Impact target arrows and I put 100 grain tips in there and I killed the bull with it with biter knots, pin bushings, 2-inch fletchings.
We're talking elk, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
elk,
you're up there. You got moose and everything else. So I didn't know about what your typical selection was. So you're pretty big elk hunter.
Yes. Yeah. I go out every chance that I can get. And we used to live up in Donley, which is just south of McCall for anybody that knows Idaho, but it's kind of like central Idaho. So we were up there at like 5,000 elevation. I could just drive 30 minutes and I'm in my hunting spot. So I'd clock out of work. I'd go hunting, there'd be days where I just call in and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm feeling sick today," and take an extra day off and get a 3-day weekend and go out there and hunt.
Got the
But
COVID again, man. Got to take 5.
yeah,
Oh God, I can't smell anything, man. It's terrible. Can't taste nothing. It's like, well, just stay away, man. I see. There's only like 7 people in Idaho, right? Like y'all are 200 yards apart, not 200 feet.
well, I just moved back down to Nampa, which is basically Boise, and dude, it's crazy down here. It's like Sacramento.
Really?
Yeah,
Got a little influx of left-leaning individuals out there.
yeah, we got a lot of California, Oregon, Washington, people from Texas, Arizona, Florida, North Carolina. I don't know who sent out the news, but everyone's here. So
Hiking trails and granola, man.
yeah,
So it's got to be.
yeah,
I mean, I'm not going to hold it against anybody if they want to go experience nature, but at least show up to one of my ASA shoots, okay? Like don't be out there like walking the trails during the archery tournament. I'm like, excuse me, sir. If this little 14-year-old kid skips an arrow off that target, you might have a really bad time. And they look at you like, what? And we're like, hey, this has been scheduled for 9 months, man. I don't know how you didn't hear about it. So hate to see that. Like
make them
nobody
sign
makes
that
the
waiver
news
while
in
they're
our
down, man.
say what now?
While they're bleeding out, make them sign that waiver.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's like nobody in archery makes the news for a good reason. It's like local archery tournament turned crime scene. Like no, this is not what we want. Um,
Yeah.
well, tell let's say we went over your release, your arrows, your bow, your sight, your rest. How about your bowstrings?
Yeah. So yeah, I make my own bowstrings out of 452 extra, with halo serving on everything, center serve, end loops, all of it. And yeah, I own my own business, Flingham Nation Bowstrings. Uh, we possibly will be starting to make stabilizers here in the near future. Possible podcast coming out as well, and apparel. So I just teamed up with another guy. He's going to end up doing all my apparel since I can't keep up with stuff. But yeah, that's my strings, man.
Yeah, you how long have you been building them?
2 years.
2 years? Was it somebody twist your arm into it, or did you just want to do it for yourself and then other people found out about it?
Honestly, I thought that it was going to be really, really hard to learn. And my dad used to own a bow shop when I was like 10 years old, and we would always change out strings, and I was always curious, like, how do they make these things? Like, this is amazing. Like, there's got to be a lot of thought that goes into this. And for the most part there is, but there are some basic steps to kind of get you to make strings. Like, you can make a pretty decent set of strings right off the bat, and if you take the time and put your mind to it, like, I shoot on a professional level, so things got to be perfect. My name's on it. My reputation's there. So, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I stayed up till 3 o'clock just making strings and take them off the stretcher and serve them up, look at them, test them, and then throw them in the trash. Like, they're not good enough. Try again. And I've wasted, I don't know how much money I've wasted, but I finally figured out my formula and got a system going. And so far, I've hadn't had any complaints.
Good. That's fantastic, dude. I mean, it's going to be tournament season or hunting season, and someone's going to be loading that broadhead, and they just right through it, and they call you, and they're like, "I'm leaving tomorrow. I know it's 11:30 at night. I need a favor, bud." And you're like, oh, "Come on over. Come on, let's get it done so I can go to bed." And it's oh, dude, I don't. I don't envy you having that phone call come in, because once people know about it and like you're their guy and they trust you, because you're not just their guy for strings. You're the guy that puts them on. You're the guy that's gonna set the knock height. You're gonna do the peep side. I mean, it's so much more than just twisting them up and serving them. Like, because you want. I always tell people, I'm like, I got a press. I'm not good at it. If you want to change a set of strings, come on. I got everything I need in this room for a shop. But what we're going to do first is we're going to take about 15 pictures of how they're on there and a live video down and back, flip the camera around the other side, down and back. It's like, okay, this is how it goes on. It only goes the one way. It's over, under, through it, cable guard like this. All right, if we can match all that up, I'm pretty sure it won't blow up, but you're doing it, not me. So once it's time to shoot it through paper, put a D loop on it, I'm like, all right, go stand behind the wall like I'm giving them an X-ray. Like I'm over here for my safety. What about me? Well, you're the one that wanted new strings, bro.
May cause cancer. Just stay there.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm closing my eyes when it gets pulled back and goes like this, like thinking something's gonna recoil or fly out of there. Be like, hey, it's shot. I was like, why do you sound surprised, dude? We did it. Had it's like, here, hold the cams, take them out, both axles, and just hold them both right here, just right here. It's like, all right, everything else, I think we can put it back together like one piece at a time. But dude, those first like 3 or 4 of them, you're like, was that over that post or was that like under and up and around? Like you're getting it out of the press and like try to pull it and you're like, God dang, it's 98 pounds and it's not moving. Like, I don't think we did something right. Like, let's take a step back real quick. Like, let's put it back in the press real easy.
Yeah. Luckily, I don't put strings on people's bows. I always tell them just take them down to your local bow shop, have them put it on, and that way bow shops, they get clout, they get money. 'Cause this is all I got in here, right? I got my bench. For string building, I have my own personal bow press that friends can come over and use, arrow cutter. Basically, have my own bow shop, but I don't put strings on people's bows. I just ship them to them. But granted, if somebody cuts one with a broadhead, they call me up. I'll replace it for free. I've been there, and it sucks. That, or if your wife happens to get pissed off at you and cut your strings, I'll replace them for you for free. Like I got into making strings because one, I was buying my own strings, and I realized like you go online, right, and they'll advertise like, oh, this string it's $120. Well, you go in there and you pick the color of your serving, you pick the color of your string. Next thing you know, it's $200. It's like, wait, what? What just happened? Like, I didn't want your ugly green and white colors on my bow. I wanted my own custom colors, like my football team or something like that. And yet it's the same crap and it's all the same price. So it's like, just go on my website, pick whatever color you want. It's $120 for 3-string bows. It's $130 for 5-string bows. Well, that's if you hit me on Instagram. If you go on my website, it's a little extra just because of the website. But granted, I keep it cheap. I didn't get into it to make money. I just got into it because the archer world, I wouldn't say it's scamming people, but everything is so overpriced and cheaply made that the quality is just not there for how much it costs.
Yeah, they're getting outrageous. What are your thoughts, real quick, on the new gas System X that's supposed to have like another 6 feet per second? You think that is a something with the speed knocks? Is it something with the material? Is it
So
can you
I
make
can't
it
really.
that much faster? Is what I kind of really want to know.
I would say, yeah, it probably does. It probably does make it faster because I have seen a lot of people post videos like, here's my chronograph before, and then here it is after. And usually it is about 5 feet per second faster. I know that they're getting their own special material from BCY. I don't know what material that is because I don't know anything else that could be better than 452X or extra, I should say now. Um, yeah, I can make a bow shoot 5 feet per second faster by taking off 2 strands. So I don't know if they're doing that. Who knows?
Are you do you on your recipe? And if you don't want to say, that's totally fine. Are you 28 strand? Are you 24, 26, 32? Like, what do you have a preference, or do you make whatever the customer wants?
Depends on the bow. So if you have a Matthews bow, I'll do, if it's like flow colors that has a lot of wax on it, it's probably going to be 22 strand. If it's a low wax, it's going to be 24. I don't go above 24 unless it's natural. Then I'll do 28 natural.
Okay.
Hoyt Hoyt's going to be 26 strand. But if somebody wants speed, I'll do 24 strand on string and cables. So um, some people that I meet at tournaments and they're like, "Hey, can you make me a set of strings?" I always ask them, "Are you looking for speed or are you looking for comfort?" Because if you're looking for speed, then I'm probably just going to make them factory specs with low wax. But if you're looking for comfort, I'm going to add more strands to it, and the bow's going to feel a lot better.
Sight picture wise, you mean holding wise?
Draw and hold, yes. So when
Okay.
you're at that full draw and you hit that wall, it's more stable, more sturdy, and then your draw cycle, it's a lot smoother.
Okay. Perfect. That's not always a something that I mean, I've seen them all the way up to like a 32 strand on some of the old 2014 Hoyt Pro Comp Elites that I ended up buying them from a dude off of Canada that had like three of them. And one of them came with these, it was something moose tracks or moose something. And it was, I mean, I couldn't find a knock to get on this thing. And I was like, I called one of my local guys and I was like, can you make me a set of these? And he asked me what cam it was. And it had SVX spiral cams Frankenstein onto a 2014 bow. And he was like, dude, they didn't make that cam for like 2 more years. So you can take them off and measure them and we'll take an eighth off and I'll send them to you. But if it's not right, like it's not on me, homie. I was like, but but it's got the Hoyt spiral cams on it. It has to be good, right? And he goes, no, dude. I mean, somebody put that cam on that bow because they wanted the old riser with the new cam, and they probably had a string guy from freaking Idaho that was their friend and just Frankensteined it together in a garage one night. I mean, the thing shot great. I mean, I think my dad's got put another set of strings on it since then. He shoots it for indoor. I think it maxes at like 52 pounds. I mean, he's 69, 70 years old, so he doesn't need a ton of weight for shooting indoor. And he's like, yeah, it draws smooth. I was like, no one has ever said the SVX spiral cam is smooth. All right. That is a shoulder surgery waiting to happen. But I think he's already
Oh,
had two of those, so he's kind of past the shoulder surgery portion of archery. Um, well, before we get too far down the line, give you a chance to shout out any sponsors. You know, where can people get a hold of you? Plug your socials real quick just before we hop off here. How do they get a hold of you?
yeah, you can get a hold of me on Instagram. It's Flingham Ingham, or you can go to Flingham Nation. Message me on there. I do have Facebook, Flingham Nation as well, or just Nick Ingham. Uh, yeah, you can get a hold of me there. Or I do have my website. It is FlinghamNationBowstrings.com. So if you need a set of strings, you can go on there. But if you do want to get and save $10, just hit me up on Instagram, something like that. If you want something custom, let me know. If it is, if it's crazy like 32 strands, yeah, that's on you, and I got insurance, so we're good there.
That I mean that hey, if you can find people willing to do it your way, unconventional, that's who you want to that's who you want to hit up. You know, there's people out there in every corner of the country that are doing, you know, big things in archery. So, you know, congrats again on winning, breaking the barriers. I know that's something that the NFAA is really, you know, proud to be a partner with. That's something that's kind of, you know, it's growing every year. So I'm hoping that some of our, you know, our Oklahoma people aren't too scared to go to California. I know it's a little dicey out there, but if it's anything, you know, anybody out there in Oklahoma or, you know, God forbid, surrounding states that are listening to us, I think Dave counted them up once. I think that was like 47 out of 50. And one of them was South Dakota. And I called Bruce Cole and I was like, hey, dude, there's three states that haven't listened to my podcast and you're living in one of them. And he's like, my bad. Yeah, I think it was like Maine and South Dakota and like, I don't know, Alaska or Hawaii or one of those far out ones. But if anybody out there wants to go to, you know, breaking the barriers, it's a one arrow shoot off. You bring your field bow, bring your skinny arrow bow, bring your fat arrows with it. You know, reach out to Nick or Wendell or somebody smarter than me that knows how to run the sight tape on your phone. It's not, I still haven't figured it out. I remember talking to somebody about like, you know, how the Excel like clicks in, has like the dot and the 0.5 and the dot and the 0.5 all the way around it. I was like, yeah, man, when I like, if you use the quick disconnect, like, how does it like, how does it get back into track? And they're like, do it. And it clicks up or clicks down. It's finding on your knob the closest to where it's at. I was like, oh man, that's cool. He goes, that's why it's $600, dude. Like you're, you're an idiot. You don't understand the technology that you're holding in your hand. I was like, yeah, but I got a sticker on here. I got a sticker, you know, it says,
Your
um,
sticker.
yeah, I got it. Yeah. We like stickers here. Okay. And color coded ones, if that helps at all. But
It comes with a manual, but I'm pretty sure you and every other guy throws that thing in the trash.
no, I think I bought all mine used, man. I don't even think they came with a box.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. I was sitting there because I tried doing it once. My buddy Chris Sanders got me to like type in the numbers and you got to do your peep to pin and all that, like the input info, right? And then he was showing me how you go in and like assign your like if your 40's off, you can like, here's the number, okay, here's the
Oh,
amended
yeah.
number, and it like recalculates all your things. And I was sitting there shooting field, cranking it all the way down. He's like, what are you doing? It's like, I don't want to hit that quick disconnect, like it'll throw my numbers off. He's like, no dude, no it doesn't.
Yeah,
So
it does it.
yeah, so be smarter than me. Go check out Break the Barriers. Go check out Nick at Flingham Nation. Man, I appreciate it. Is there anything else you want to cover before we hop off here?
Not that I know of. Yeah, I think I'm pretty much good. I got a lot of strings to make, that's for sure. It's gonna be a long night.
Yeah, buddy. Well, we'll let you get to it. Thank you for sitting down with us, and good luck this year at Reading, man. We'll be rooting for you.
Yeah, thank you, buddy. Yeah, I appreciate you working in the hours. I know my schedule and your schedule couldn't really match up, but I'm glad we made this happen.
It's all good, man. You win a big tournament like that, I got to hear about it so I can drag my sorry self to it. So, y'all be good out there. We'll see you next time. Safe travels to everybody going to Camp Minden this year, and you can come out, man. Get on a plane. Camp
Oh,
Minden,
dude,
Louisiana.
my wife would kick my ass, dude.
Hey, that's why I practice family law, okay? Criminal defense and family law. So no matter how bad it gets, we can get you out of it, okay?
Oh yeah. Okay. All
All right.
right. Well, as long as I do good and ready, I might call you up, and I'm gonna have to use some of my contingency money to pay you.
We ain't going to California, man, but good luck at it.
Thank you, buddy.
Later, guys.